Now we are going to continue discussing about gradient, and I have already in my previous video discussed what gradient is and how it can be found out using either this formula or this one. Now in this video I am going to discuss how to find the gradient of a line when any two of its points are given. For that, the formula that we are going to use is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. First of all, I'll discuss how this formula is actually made and what are the possible cases that can be given to you to use this formula. First of all, you need to understand how is this formula made. Why can I use this formula? Okay. If you remember, in my previous video, I have discussed slope or gradient of a line is the ratio between the vertical change to the horizontal change of a line between any two of its points. This is the same line from my previous video. The 2 points which I have considered are still there. I'll highlight them. Okay, so I now want you to convert this formula into this. Now, how is it actually done? As I have already mentioned, gradient is the ratio between the vertical change to the horizontal change between 2 points. So first of all, you need to have any 2 points. Let's say this is the first point and this is the second point. Okay. These are the 2 points with the help of which I have found out the gradient in the previous video. So first of all, I'll draw a vertical line like this, okay, and a horizontal line like this. These two lines have to be only as long so that they could intersect with each other. So this much is enough. This is the additional part. If you want, you may keep it. If you want, you may just remove it. Okay. So these are the 2 points. This is the first one. This is the second one. I drew a vertical line like this and a horizontal line like this. I only have to make sure that these 2 points these 2 lines intersect. I can also draw lines like this upward from that point and to this side from that point. Okay. So these can be also drawn. Okay. Any one of the pair will be enough. Either you draw lines like this or you draw lines like this. The choice is yours. Okay. So I can see this is the actual line. Okay. And the vertical distance that this line has traveled between these 2 points is this much, and the horizontal distance that this line has traveled between these 2 points is this much. Okay. So this was the vertical change and this was the horizontal change. As we had counted previously, how much is the vertical change? 1, 2, 3 and 4. The vertical change was 4, and how much was the horizontal change? 1 and 2. I hope you remember. This is from my previous video. This is the vertical change, which is 4, and this is the horizontal change, which is 2. Okay. Now if I say the line is there on the graph, the points are there on the graph, can you just tell me the coordinates of these 2 points? What are the coordinates of this point and what are the coordinates of this? So if you can just read it out, the coordinates of these points are 3, 7. 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the coordinates are 3, 7. Okay, these are the coordinates of that first point. The coordinates of this point is 1, 3. This is 1, 3. Okay. The reason why line moves vertically is the y component. The reason why line moves horizontally is the x component. So if I want to find out this, if you remember how much was this? This was 4. Okay. 4. The vertical change is because of the y component. What is the y component of this point? 7. What is the y component of this point? 3. So if I subtract 7 from 3, what do I get? 4. So the difference between the y components will give me the vertical change. Again, the difference between the y components will give me the vertical change. Can anyone guess what will give me the horizontal change? The horizontal change will be the difference between the x components. What is the x component of this point? 3. What is the x component of this point? 1. And if I just subtract 3 and 1, 3 minus 1 is how much? 2. And 2 was my horizontal change. Okay? 4 is my vertical change because of y components and because of this. So I got 4 when I subtracted or I took the difference between the y components. I got the value of 2, the horizontal change, when I took the difference between the x components. So the difference between y components, y2 minus y1, I can consider any one of these points as x2 comma y2, any one of these points as x1 comma y1. I'll consider this x1 comma y1 initial points. I'll consider this x2 comma y2 final points. You can take any one as x1 y1 and any one of these points as x2 y2. The choice is yours. The main thing that I want is the difference between the y components and the difference between the x components. So y2 minus y1 is actually representing the vertical change. So this formula is actually made from this. Vertical change is y2 minus y1 and horizontal change is x2 minus x1, horizontal change. Okay, so we use this formula when we do not have just the vertical change or the horizontal change. I just give you 2 coordinates of a point of a line. For instance, I say there is a line on a graph paper. The 2 points are 3, 2 and let's say 5, 9. There are any 2 random points on a line. I am not drawing the line, I am not drawing anything, I am just mentioning 2 points of a line and I am saying those 2 points are 3, 2 and 5, 9. And all what I want you to do, I want you to find the slope or the gradient of the line. So let's say x1 comma y1 is equals to 3, 2 and let's say x2 comma y2 is equals to 5, 9 and the formula that I can use is m is equals to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, x1 y1, what is y2? y2 is 9 minus what is y1? y1 is 2 over x2 minus x1. What is x2? x2 is 5 minus what is x1 is 3. 9 minus 2 is 7 and 5 minus 3 is 2. So the slope of the line is going to be 7 over 2. Okay, so this formula will be used only when you have the coordinates of a line and not the line on the grid. Okay? So most of the questions that now you are going to do will be of this kind, where you have 2 points only and you have to find the gradient of the line. The cases that can be used in this formula, first case is this: I want you to find out the slope. If I want you to find out the slope of the line, I'll definitely give you both the points. Okay, x1 y1, x2 y2, both will be given. Second thing, there are times when I give you the slope, I give you x1 y1 and I give you x2, but y2 could be an unknown. For instance, there could be one more case, a question, there is a line whose slope is, let's say, 3. First point is 3, 5 and the second point is 2, k. Find out the value of k. Okay? There is any line. The slope of the line is 3. The first point that line passes through is 3, 5 and the second line that line passes through is 2, k. The unknown is k. I want you to find out the value of k in this case. So what are you going to do? You are going to use the same formula. You are going to form an equation with the help of this formula first of all and find out the value of k in this case. Okay? There could be more cases like this. I have given you slope, I have given you one point completely. I have just not told you one component. There could be one more case. M is given, let's say m is 5. x1 y1 is equals to 3 2k and x2 y2 is equals to, let's say, 5 4k or 5 k or whatever. Okay. Now you can see there are 2 components which are unknown, which both are y. Slope is there, x1 is known, y1 is in terms of k, x2 is there, y2 is again in terms of k. All together there is just one variable again. Using the same formula, you will form an equation involving one variable, and hopefully you can solve an equation with one variable only. Okay? Although you can see the unknown at 2 places, but it's just one variable. Okay? So this could also be like this: m is given, let's say 7, x1 comma y1 is k comma 5 and x2 comma y2. This time the unknown is at different places. At one point it's at x component, at the other point it says y component. Okay? Think whether you can solve this one or not. Try solving it, see if you are getting an equation and you can solve it or not. Just one thing that you need to make sure or remember is that this case might be there, this case is definitely there, but they both are there because they all have single variable. Nothing of that kind will be there that this is k and this is m. I cannot give you different variables in this case. You need to have single variable because you only can form one equation and then solve it. So these are three possible cases. 2 points are given, find the slope. Slope is given, 1 point is given, one of the component is not there, find out that variable. Okay. This is the third case. Okay. The slope is there and one component in each point is missing. With the help of this introduction or this explanation, you will be able to do most of the cases. The main thing is finding out the slope when two of the points are given, and it can be used in various ways. I hope this video is clear and everything is understandable. If there is anything that is still unclear, kindly do let me know. I'll try to answer that query as early as possible. Thank you so much.